Let us look at the Fourier series for f of x equal to x cube in the interval minus pi to pi. We know the formula for the Fourier series, and here we have to find a naught, an, and bn. So let's take it one by one. Previously, we have seen a naught is equal to 1 by pi times the integral from minus pi to pi of f of x dx. Here f of x is x cube. So we substitute it. Now let's integrate. A naught is equal to 1 by pi times the integral of x cube is x to the power of 4 by 4 in the interval minus pi to pi, which is equal to 1 by pi times, substitute pi first, so pi to the power of 4 by 4 minus, now you substitute minus pi, so minus pi to the power of 4 by 4. Here minus pi to the power of 4 is pi, so pi to the power of 4 by 4 minus pi to the power of 4 by 4 is 0. So that means a naught is equal to 0. an is equal to 1 by pi times the integral minus pi to pi of f of x times cos nx dx. This we have seen previously. Now here we substitute f of x with x cube, and once we have done the integration and all that, since we have already seen that an is equal to 0, that is what we will arrive at. So now we are left with bn. Again, we have seen previously bn is equal to 1 by pi times the integral from minus pi to pi of x cube times sine nx dx. Let's do the integration. Now, before we actually do the integration, let's change the interval. Instead of saying minus pi to pi, let's say 0 to pi. Since we have the interval we are taking here is half, we need to double the integral. So we multiply it by 2. So when we integrate this, we get bn is equal to 2 by pi times, remember integration by parts, which is what I'm doing here, x cube as it is times the integral of sine nx, that is minus cos nx by n, minus the derivative of x cube times the integral of minus cos nx, which is minus sine nx by n square, plus now the derivative of 3x square, which is 6x, times the integral of minus sine nx, which is cos nx by n. Of course, since n square is already there, it will become n cube. Again, minus derivative of 6x times the integral of cos nx, which is sine nx by n to the power of 4. And this, we have to evaluate it from 0 to pi. So we end up with bn is equal to 2 by pi times, now here, if we substitute pi, what will happen? Cos n pi will be either minus 1 or plus 1. Yes. So these will remain. But sine pi is what? 0. So which means this term will disappear. This term will disappear. Minus. Now we substitute 0. So the x here, here, and here will become 0. That means all these three terms will disappear. Now here what will happen? X is not there outside, but sine 0 will be 0. So all the four terms disappear when we substitute 0. So we are left with, and since we have done the substitution, we will end up with minus pi cube times cos n pi by n plus 6 pi times cos n pi by n cube. Now let's simplify it. Bn is equal to 2 by pi times, what is common? Let's take it out. Pi is common, cos n pi is common, and n is common. So pi times cos n pi by n, we take it out, times what is left? Minus pi square is left. And here 6 by n square is left. And this again we can simplify by cancelling out the pi's. So we are left with 2 times cos n pi by n times 6 by n square minus pi square. Here, remember cos n pi, we left it as it is. Now let's simplify that. Bn is equal to 2 times, when n is 1, that is cos pi, it is minus 1. When it is 2, it will become plus 1. 3 minus 1. So we convert this cos n pi to minus 1 to the power of n. So we end up with Bn is equal to 2 times minus 1 to the power of n divided by n times 6 by n square minus pi square. Now we substitute it in the Fourier formula. F of x equal to x cube, which is equal to summation as n goes from 1 to infinity of, remember, a naught is 0, a n is 0, so that means only bn will remain, times sin nx. That is the Fourier formula for Fourier series for f of x equal to x cube. Now let's see how it works. For one term, what do we get? We get this, nowhere near the x cube function. Now let's take 2 terms. Let's take 3 terms, 4 terms, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20 terms it has. Now you can really see that it is converging to the x cube function. So which means if you take it to infinity, it will converge with the function f of x equal to x cube in the interval minus pi to pi. Again, let me remind you, there is a link to a PDF book which describes all these things in detail. Please feel free to download it, refer to it, and if you think somebody else can also benefit from it, please do share. That's it for now. Bye.